Hey guys, just a little quick tip video for some handstand push-ups, specifically the kipping ones. So when we're getting set up for this, a couple things we can think of. I like to use an ab mat when we're first learning them to help us with the distance from the wall. Typically when we're setting up, we want to think we're getting our hands kind of in line with the backside or the corners of the ab mat. I like to have the hands turned out so we have a good base when we kick up. So in essence, what we're going to do once we kick up against the wall is we want to come down into a tripod position. So the hands should be slightly ahead of our head, and just not in line, because if we're in line, much more difficult to press and a lot less balance. So if we can get a nice tripod base, it's almost thinking we're making a little triangle between our hands and our head at the bottom. So once we do get down into that triangle position, the second thing we're going to want to think about is getting our hips against the wall before we load up our knees and hips together. So the key obviously is resting the hips slightly against the wall. We want to bring the knees down far enough to where our hips are starting to flex a little bit, because that's where the power is going to come from. If we're just bending our knees, we're not going to get much out of it. So we want to make sure that hip's flexing so we can get as much out of our legs as we can. When we are kicking up, we want to think of the heels up towards the wall, so that will help us drive up. So we want the legs to fire up, kind of like the push press, where we get the legs to do the first half of the work, and then we want the arms to kind of step in and finish the press like we normally would. So I'll kind of demo the positions just like I just explained. So finding your hands, we're gonna kick up. So from here, coming down into your tripod position, want to get those hips against the wall. Want to lower the knees enough to flex the hips so we can kick up and then bring our head through. So I'm coming down, hips against the wall, loading the knees and hips, and then driving up to get that head through. Hopefully this helps. Like I said, use the ab mat to help you get positioned. Practice is key. Making sure we're aggressive with the legs will make a big difference.